respect for laws, drug-free workplaces, healthy individuals, and healthy families. Thank you.
Mr. Donation. And again, remember that all we're looking for is that we're going to ask the citizens of the community with simply an advisory vote on this. There is no discussion this evening or any time in the near future about whether such sales will be allowed within the city. It's simply we're asking the citizens for their advice.
Mr. Rios from G34805, and I agree, Mr. Mayor, this is a discussion item, and the discussion at hand is the time of meeting of the advisory vote. That's why I kept my original 3 minutes more into subjects other than the actual timing of it. We're here discussing that timing, I suspect, because of the single business owner, which members of council and the public comments have talked about their leases and talked about 80% participation of people outside of Snohomish being the ones in actual favor. I think you can see by the passion involved in this issue, and you can say on both sides, there's a lot of paths that are going on here. People don't understand the legalities of what was voted on. They don't understand the legalities of what specifically Snohomish is considering currently and what it has control over. It is a state law. This is a retail marijuana advisory vote. And I must point out that the location that has been purported to be leased by the Cushry is inside of the 1,000-foot state allowable boundary as laid out in preliminary mapping that was done by the city of Snohomish 2 years ago. Let's just make that very clear. We're not here about the location, about a single property owner. We're here about long-term code issues. And I implore you to use the December vote, or excuse me, the November ballot as the time to get the most participation, because that's what we want. We want people's opinion. We want to know what majorities are. We want to know what the complications are. And we don't want to blindside people with timing. Please support that. I don't know any history of significant advisory votes, either on state or local levels, being done on off major ballot election time. Just not done. Let's get this done with and move on to that advisory vote November 1st. Thank
you. I guess my concern is transparency. I've heard this for well over 18 months, and we got transparency with the passing of Proposition 2. The people spoke, and things are going to be going in a different direction. A month ago, a city council member brought it up under new business that they'd like to discuss moving this issue at hand to August. And here we are already now. It just moves expeditiously. I asked tonight as a test, when I asked for 2 discussion items to be brought up, to see if you'll respond to a citizen's request for open discussion on an item as quick as the city council members. This is an important issue, you guys. And we talked about November a year ago. I think you should stick with November. There's not a hurry. A month ago, a city councilman brought up that he was concerned that a person was paying rent on a building. I'm sorry that person put the cart in front of the horse.
Hear, hear. But
it isn't our responsibility to cater to one citizen or one cellular company or one person that wants to build an apartment. So you guys think tonight, please. We got some things changing, and 5 of you up for re-election. And with all due respect, I think this is going to be a major issue coming up. Thank you.
Susan Durham, 219 Avenue E, 3 doors down from the proposed site of this. So you will know how I feel about it. I emailed all of you, telling all my family and friends I'm going door to door. Ridiculous that I have to do that. Please, if you said you hope that the city council would follow the will of the people, not the will of a person. The owner of the fisheries in the room, I believe tonight, you are quoted, Mayor Hamilton, in the Tribune as saying you're concerned about how patient he's had to be and that there's been a delay for him and it's costing him money. That's his choice. He signed a lease for a business that's currently prohibited in Snohomish. So I don't think that our ordinances, our laws, our rules, our zoning regulations should be determined by his desire to get his business going. I don't think I think it shows a bias, frankly. I don't want to hear that it's costing him money. We're not talking about citing, but when it comes down to it, this is in the historic district. It's 70 feet from an elementary school bus stop. It's 1 block from a middle school bus stop. It's 3 blocks from the high school. It's within 70 feet on either side of this shop to private residential homes. People live there. So please, please, please use caution. You say, if you would have gone with the will of the people that night at that meeting a year ago where I was, no, it probably would have been a no vote. Keep the ban on, right? You didn't go with it then. That's okay. And we understood that this was a compromise. But I don't like reading in the paper that suddenly we're going to vote in August or we're discussing August when November was late. It just seems fishy to me. So please consider keeping it in November.
I have neither made public comment nor an interview on this particular issue with regards to talking about potential owner. And I have a couple of weeks of something in the paper in between. I suppose it would be a story. I have not taken any position on or even mentioned that somebody has a potential lease in that. Thank you. Anyone else?
Paul Cookson, 211 Avenue E. I agree with several other people, the transparencies that they've been here. We got 5 council seats coming up for election. We don't know if they're going to stay and run for election. We don't know if we get new ones or whatever. And I think being that this could be a very, very important decision on our community, the community that I've wanted to live in for 34 years, and I'm now here. I've been here for 4 years. I've lived out in the Lost Lake area for 30 years, and I've always loved Snohomish. We love it. My grandkids and I, we run across the alley, go to the 76 and get candy and stuff like the 10 grandkids. I think that this thing should be left up to the new council once they get organized, because it's just the best thing to do. And as far as the guy bringing up Trump and all this other stuff, that's a bunch of crap. Come on, let's do what we have to do for our community. It's a great community. Everybody I talk to that I live in Snohomish, they say, we love that town, we love that town. I work all over the north region here, and I tell you what, people just love Snohomish. And I just say, the transparency is the big thing. I can see tonight, this is only the 2nd council meeting I've been to, and I can see tonight you've got dissension on your council, which is not a good thing. And the other thing is, the transparency is a good thing, because think about the last vote, yes for no, no for yes, nobody could figure it out. And guess what? Guess what? My daughter and her husband come from California, and they voted, they were part of the 11 votes. So there you go. I mean, come on, let's get it together. It's our community. We've got good neighborhoods. Let's put it together. Leave the thing to the new council. Don't be messing with it.
Anyone else would like to speak on this? Please, name or just over.
Andy Faber, 2410-157, in Machias. When kids go to Machias and parent partnership here in town, and go to church just a couple blocks from the proposed location. And I would urge the council to stick to the November ballot when we have the highest turnout. I understand that it is an advisory vote. I'd like to hear your feedback on the timeline between the time that the advisory vote is held and when further discussions are going to be had on this topic, so that the public can be actively involved in that discussion with you. After then, we can address that. I would say that as far as our community here, we are here to advise you guys, even though there's going to be advice that's given during that voting. Hopefully it's concise but here is a place that we have the opportunity to provide verbal feedback. You're not going to get on that checkbox, yes or no, where we can see the impact that is happening with our friends and our neighbors. My wife and I are foster parents, and we've been closely involved with the opioid epidemic, and this marijuana is not an ancillary issue to what's going on. There's 9,000 foster kids in the system, and many of them have parents that are addled with opioid and marijuana addictions. And I mean, how many of you guys got to participate in the Snohomish cleanup day the other day, cleaning up blackberry bushes? How many vagrants did we see leave? How many in that pouring rain, pouring down rain, people crawling out from underneath buildings, stoned out of their minds, soaking wet? Is that what we want? No, I don't think so.
Anyone else would like an opportunity to speak? All right, I'll close citizen comments and bring it back for council discussion. Member Rorschach.
Thank you, Mayor. I just want to say, I think you all would be surprised. There's probably a number of people that smoke marijuana that you aren't even aware of, believe it or not. So don't for a second think that it's just one class or one group of people. You need to understand that. If you don't, then I think you need to open your eyes a little bit more and truly see what's going on around you. I agree, Snohomish is a great community, and that's why I live here, and I'll continue to live here. But we're also the city council, and we have every right to hold these discussions and think outside the box. This is a discussion item. If it doesn't happen in August, it's going to happen in November. Either way, it's going to happen. And if you're frustrated about marijuana, then get out and vote. That's what this advisory vote is. It was already passed. 502 already passed, which means that technically we could have just allowed it within the city just by that. We instead held off and decided, let the public vote. And that's what we were doing. So if you want to get frustrated with us, you all and your neighbors that live in the city limits need to get out and vote. Vote your heart.
About me. I
You can
live
get frustrated with us all
297
you
feet
want,
outside of town.
but
He's trying to pump
this
it.
is a hot issue, and it will continue to be a hot issue. But regardless, you'll get a chance to vote, whether it happens in August or it happens in November. If you don't vote in August, then shame on you. There's no reason why you can't. It's a mail-in ballot. So there shouldn't be any excuse. The same thing goes for November. It's the same thing. I brought up the idea after speaking with the applicant about the idea of moving it forward in August. It's simply a discussion item, and that's what we're doing tonight. So we are also open to other opinions and other discussions. And that's why you all are here tonight, because you're passionate about it, right? And I respect the hell out of that. But you also need to know that you'll have a chance to vote on it if you live in the city limits.
He's talking about me.
Don't. So you've already had your time to speak. So I just want to
Said it
reiterate.
twice.
Get out and vote. Vote in August
Punk.
and vote in November.
He's a punk.
And stop being frustrated with us, because we're here to represent you, but you all also need to get out and use your voice, and that voice is by voting. Thank you.
Councilman Randall.
Well, yes, thank you. This is going to be an important vote. I know that it brings out a lot of people, a lot of passion. I believe that the turnout in the general election is much higher than the primary election. I know in 2007, 2009, and 2011, it was actually more around 1,000 vote difference. And the average, of course, is 777. My computer screen went blank on me, but anyway. So anyway, I'm going going to go ahead and vote to keep it at the November 7th election. I think that's the best thing to do here. I personally don't really want to see marijuana stores in town, but I agreed last year to go ahead and allow an advisory vote. And then recently I said that if an advisory vote, whichever way it goes, I'll go and vote that way myself. So I'm going to honor the advisory vote. So, thank you.
I got my right up. Anyone else want to hear?
Question I have about the timeline after the.
I'm sorry, no question for the audience, but I think I'll address your question.
Okay.
I was one who was in favor of having this discussion relative to shifting the timeline. I know that this is a hot button issue, and we've talked about it twice during council. We've had 2 council votes. They've been split council votes, 4-3 both times. We talked about marijuana in the city. I have been the swing vote on that. It's been a difficult thing as our city, I think, our council has been split on this. And I was looking forward to getting a little more clarity. However, the information we got from staff about the difference between the number of people voting in August versus voting in November is swinging me toward, I think that we should wait for November. Therefore, I'm going to make a motion that we have the advisory vote in the general election in November 2017.
Second.
All right, motion made by Councilmember Guzak, second by Councilmember Sanders.
Wow.
Yeah, the new guy. That advisory vote be scheduled for November. Additional discussion, Councilmember Schneider.
So I want to weigh in, of course, you know that I will be supporting that motion. And I want to applaud Councilmember Roy Sharp's passion and about asking you to get out and vote, and I absolutely agree with that. I disagree with him, his comment about not being